So a week ago or so I received the mechanic I ordered from eBay, and it's been traveling all the way here from Australia, so it took a while. And the plan here is to compare the mechanic, which is a discontinued model, with the DELUXE TINKER, which you can get for like 60 or 70 bucks. It's basically the same knife, but this one has scissors, which this one doesn't. But I'm not so sure. I need to compare them and see if that's actually true, since when comparing the old skipper with the new skipper, there were a lot of differences actually, and maybe there are a lot of differences between these two as well, which you don't really anticipate. So the idea was that I would use the mechanic as my everyday carry, since I don't need the scissors. That's because I always carry scissors anyway in my 58mm DELUXE Classic. These scissors are a bit small, so there are no comparison for the bigger scissors in the full-size models. In my experience, they actually work for most tasks anyway. These scissors are enough, so then I'd rather carry a lighter knife and combine that with the Classic. So this is the mechanic, and let's start the comparison with looking at the width difference, and it's noticeable, and when holding it in my hand it feels like total different tool actually. So I brought out the calipers, so let's check the size difference here. So the DELUXE TINKER is 21.85 millimeters at the center, and the old mechanic is 18.3 millimeters at the center. So a significant difference there. And if you look at the tools there, it's missing one layer in the mechanic, and that's the scissors. Otherwise they should be exactly the same, but I'm gonna figure that out now. The first thing I notice is that the mechanic doesn't have the hook on the back, and I sort of expected that, and this means that in my view the DELUXE TINKER is much better, since if you've seen my shorts and other videos, you know that I use the hook a lot for locking both the pen blade and the main blade actually. So I'm not going to show you how to lock the main blade and the pen blade now once again. You can watch my other videos to see that. But that's a big pro for the DELUXE TINKER actually over the old mechanic. So the mechanic has the new style of pliers with the wire crimp here, and it has a wire cutter. And the new DELUXE TINKER has the exact same pliers here, with both the crimp and the wire cutter. This wire crimper was added in the 90s sometime, since I don't have this on my old Swiss champ. And I also believe that at the same time they made the pliers a bit thinner. But these pliers would be the exact same width, I think. I would be very surprised if they're not. 3.2, 3.2, yeah. So exactly the same pliers. So looking at the main blades, this is in almost mint condition. This mechanic hasn't been used much or at all actually. I can't see a single dent on the blade. And look, comparing it to the new DELUXE TINKER blade, there's no need measuring these, they are exactly identical, which I sort of expected. And I expect the pen blade to be identical as well. They are identical layers. Yeah. Pen blades are identical, but you cannot lock the pen blade on the mechanic since you don't have the hook. So these blades are probably unlockable. There might be some way to figure out the way to lock them, but I can't see it immediately, since you need something going in the other direction to put something around, and the mechanic doesn't have that. So I would say you're stuck with the slip joint blades on this one, which are not on the new DELUXE TINKER. So the most interesting part here might be the weight difference, and let's check that. The DELUXE TINKER is 127 grams and the old mechanic is 99 grams. And that's significant. So there's a significant weight difference and a significant size difference. This one is much more nice to carry and hold in your hand, which is to be expected, of course. So a quick look at the opening layers. They're probably identical as well. No difference there. This spring is really tough. Maybe there's a difference in the spring actually. Yes, there's a big difference in the spring on the Phillips or the flathead driver. This spring is extremely tough to close, and the difference is mostly significant, or very much significant. And as my measuring scale here only goes to 2 kilos, I know that this won't be possible to measure here, so I'll probably have to use the dynamo instead here, and that's a bit hard since it slips, but we'll see here. So I'm starting with the DELUXE TINKER. It's gonna be a rough measurement here. It falls quite fast at 2 kilos or 2.5 maybe. And this is the mechanic then. We'll see how it fares. Same reading actually. Two kilos. And this is 1.5 kilo actually. So as the reading on the dynamo was between 1.5 and 2 kilos, it's within range of the scales here, so I'll try it here anyways. So it folds out 1.5 kilos roughly, the Deluxe Tinker. And the old mechanic, let's see how it fares. One and a half kilo as well. So this doesn't stay as firm as the older mechanic, but they actually fold at exactly the same 1.5 kilo. But this one folds suddenly, and this one sort of slips and then folds. And I really much more like the old mechanic way of folding, where it's tough until the end and then just folds quickly. So I'm guessing inside here, which we can't see, there's a difference in the how it's attached to the spring. So on the Phillips there's a difference in the how it folds, the screwdriver, and it's a win for the mechanic here actually. So it's a better construction on this old mechanic here. And then there is nothing more, since the pliers are exactly the same, and I can't feel any difference in the tension of the spring on these two. These are identical, I'd say. So the only remaining difference is that the Deluxe Tinker has the scissors, the large scissors, and if you want the scissors you should buy the Deluxe Tinker and not try to find an old mechanic. But if you, as I, always carry a small A-LOX as well, you already have scissors, and you might just go with a lighter carry of these two, because these two together are much more of a match than these two, since you get double scissors here. So this one should be compared to these two then in weight, I'm thinking. So if you decide to carry the old mechanic and the 58mm A-LOX to get the scissors, you're at 117 grams compared to 127. So it's still a bit lighter to carry these two, and since I'm thinking that I always carry this one around my neck anyways, and this one becomes much more interesting to carry because of the weight and the size difference. But that is if you can accept that you cannot lock the blades, and that means that with the mechanic you won't be doing any whittling or pushing the blade into wood and the drilling and such, which you can do with this one if you carry 2 rings and a battery strap, and you can lock both blades. And I really like being able to lock the blades, so I'm thinking the old mechanic will have to go into the collection and stay there. It's of course fun to have it, as I aim to have all or as many different Victorinox models in my collection as possible, but the mechanic has of course its use, but if you don't like slip joint blades and you will want to be able to lock them, I'm thinking that the Deluxe Tinker is a much better choice for you. So this one goes back into goes into my collection now, and I will be continuing to carry the Deluxe Tinker. So summarizing or summing up this comparison, I've decided to put the old mechanic into my collection as it lacks the hook on the back, which I didn't think about when I bought it. It was a sort of discovery afterwards, and I still would have bought it anyways, of course. But the hook on the Deluxe Tinker makes this one so much more usable, since you can lock the blades with it and do other stuff as well, of course. I really like this hook. And I will be carrying this Deluxe Tinker and the 58mm precious A-locks here. Or I will use the old skipper when I'm going down to my boat and on vacation and such. And I of course always carry my EDC kit here in my phone case, which you know about if you've seen my videos. And here I'm actually carrying another slip joint in the Bantam, which is a bit redundant here, but I really like the Bantam, so I'm more carrying it for fun right now. I could actually take it out, since I already have 3 blades in these two, so I might save some weight there removing this. But then again, I might forget this one, and then if I need a blade, I always carry it anyway.